slide number 2 visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So as I said, today is going to be the last experiment that we will be discussing, and the objective for that experiment is going to be the determination of steam emulsification number of a given lubricating oil. Now you have studied about this characteristic of any oil in your theory class. Will anyone define it? What is steam emulsification number?
It is the time interval in which emulsion of oil and water gets separated out.
Time, okay, it is a time, so you are touching actually the physical quantity correctly. Anything else that is included in the definition? Is the unit also included?
For the emulsion of lubricating oil and water to separate into distinct layers at 90 degrees Celsius.
I could not hear you in the beginning. Will you repeat that? Yes, the later part was correct. 90-degree temperature you've included. Yes, and
The time required for the emulsion of lubricating oil and water to separate into distinct layers at 90
the
degrees.
time required in seconds, even that has to be mentioned. It is a part of the definition. People are missing that important aspect. It is the time required in seconds. And mind you, this property or characteristic of water, as is the name, is a number, steam emulsification number. And since the unit is contained in the definition itself, when you will report the result, you will be simply reporting it as a number. Say you get the result as 100 seconds. So the steam emulsification number is going to be 100 because the unit is contained in the definition itself. Is that clear? So it is simply a number. When you report the result, it contains no unit. And why? But it is time. If you look at the physical quantity aspect, actually it is nothing but the time for the two layers to separate. In fact, when an emulsion is formed between steam and the given oil, the time taken for them to separate in two distinct layers, that time in seconds is reported as a steam emulsification number. But when you report the result, you don't write the unit over there. So keep this important point in your mind. What about the physical significance of steam emulsification number? Should it be high or low for any oil? Do you want the emulsion to be formed? It is pretty much similar to aniline point. The same logic applies here as well. There it was the aromatic hydrocarbons, which when mixed with the oil can create problems. Here it is the steam or the water vapors. So if they get mixed with the oil and they form an emulsion, it can attract dirt particles, and it can lead to wear and tear, as well as it can decrease the lubricating property of the oil. So the steam emulsification should be low, such that even if an emulsion is formed, it breaks down easily. Is that clear? Means it should take lesser amount of time to get the emulsion broken. The two separate layers should be formed, and as a result, the lubricating property of the oil will be intact and no wear and tear will take place. So is the physical significance clear to everyone? Now, as far as the setup for the experiment is concerned, it is very simple. If you have understood the definition, what you need to do, first of all, you need to form an emulsion between the given oil and water. And once that emulsion is formed, what you need to note down, the time that will be taken by that emulsion to get separated into two distinct layers. So once you note that time in seconds, that time you will report as the steam emulsification number. So definitely, if you wish to form an emulsion between steam and the given oil, there has to be a steam generator prominently. So coming to the experimental setup, is slide number 3 visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
So broadly speaking, what is the apparatus consisting of? You can see this round bottom flask. So this is a steam generator. Water will be present in this and this will be boiled. Here you can see a Bunsen burner, but in the laboratory, yeah, this is not done. Electrical heating is done with the help of heating mantles. You can look at a picture of a heating mantle in the video that I have shared already. It contains uh, a mesh-like structure in which the round bottom flask can be easily mounted, and with the help of a heating mantle, the heating is done. And in this boiling tube, which is marked as D, it was going to be a graduated one. This boiling tube will be graduated till 50 ml, from 0 to 50 ml, and in this you will be taking the oil which has to be tested for the steam emulsification number. There is a delivery tube that is connecting the steam generator and the boiling tube. You can see two other connecting tubes as well. This will be of no use, the middle one. The extreme left tube that you see right over here, that is for the passage of steam into the water, because we want the temperature to be maintained at around 90 degrees. But again, the apparatus that you use in the laboratory, that is quite simple, and even this tube you will not see in the experiment that will be shown in the video. So it is going to be very simple. With the help of a heating mantle, you will be boiling water in the steam generator. Then with the help of a delivery tube, it will be passed in a boiling tube which will be containing the oil which is under testing. Here they have shown a bell jar containing water. This experiment you will be performing in air. Nothing will be there, not a bell jar will be present. And in the figure, you can see a number of cocks which are present to regulate the speed, or you can say the entry of the incoming steam into the oil. You can control the speed. The valves are present, but no such specification you will see in the experimental setup that you were actually supposed to perform in the laboratory. And yes, 20 ml of oil will be taken initially and steam will be bubbled through it, through this delivery tube. You will keep on bubbling the steam until you will see that the volume of oil has almost doubled. Means you will start with 20 ml of oil, and on bubbling steam, you will see that the volume of the contents in the boiling tube, they turn into at least 40 ml, 37 to say 42 ml. And once that has been done, what you will do, you will remove this delivery tube from the boiling tube, and you will pour it into a beaker containing room temperature water. So as soon as you will pour this into a beaker containing water at room temperature, the emulsion which has been formed, that will start separating into layers. As soon as you will dip it into a beaker containing water at room temperature, you will start a stop clock and you will start noting time. And after every 30 seconds, you will check whether complete oil has separated or not. And you will be actually looking at the volume of the oil. When the volume of the oil can be seen as 20 ml, at that point of time, you will stop the clock, and the time that you will note down That is going to be your steam emulsification number. So is the experiment clear? It is very direct actually. Not much needs to be explained. First of all, you need to form an emulsion, and then you need to note down the time at which the emulsion will be separated into two distinct layers of oil and water. So is the setup clear and the experimental procedure?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, is there any significance of cutting that delivery tube at the
At
angle of
30 degree. 30 degree. Uh, most probably that has been done to increase the surface area. The interface at which steam and oil will come in contact, that will be increased because of this angle. So the surface area at which they're coming in contact will increase, so that will help in the formation of emulsion quickly. Is it clear?
yes, ma'am.
So this was the experiment. Yes, am I audible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
I went speaking actually, and I did not even come to know when the connection went out. So where was I? Like, you people could hear me at what point? Was that complete?
At
Point
30
number
degree
6?
angle
Yes.
apparatus. About the apparatus you have.
Come again. I am not able to hear you properly.
Ma'am, you were explaining that apparatus. And that was
I was explaining the apparatus, and then the procedure when I started with that.
no, ma'am, that
Yes, ma'am.
last I could hear that was that I have asked the question about that 30 degree, why it was cut at 30 degree to increase the surface area.
30-degree surface area, and then the procedure that I have read, that all has been missed.
Yes, ma'am, I think so.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my god, that means I was speaking at least for 10 minutes. I have to take a quiz at 9:30 as well. Very quickly, we'll go back. Slide number 4, you people did not see.
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Oh my god. Okay, very quickly, we'll do it again. I've explained the procedure already. It is almost the same with more of precautions. I told you about the steam generator class G. This will be degree by passing steam, but I have told you this step will not be done by you. You will not be passing steam. Then jar E, it has been mentioned in the description, but again, you will not be using jar E in which the test tube or the boiling tube will be dipped. In fact, the immersion will be formed in air. So even this has not to be done. Then in the boiling tube, you will take 20 ml of the sample oil and you will place it in the holder. Thermometer has been advised to be used, but you will not be using a thermometer as well. Point number 4 is important, the steam delivery tube. This should be steamed out first, means if there are water droplets present in the delivery tube, then you should steam it out first before dipping it into the boiling tube containing the oil. Once you have removed all the condensation from the delivery tube by passing steam, then it should be inserted into the boiling tube containing the 20 ml of oil. Then steam will be allowed to enter the oil by maintaining the temperature of oil at 77 to 80. This will be done by controlling the wall well. Means you can control the temperature by the help of a valve. But this is also not done in the experiment that you are supposed to perform in the laboratory. And you will go on adding the steam till the contents of the tube become 37 to 43 ml. That is almost double. Till the contents become almost double. And this should not take less than 4 minutes, means you should give it sufficient time. The speed should be controlled in such a manner that this temperature of the oil is maintained around 77 to 80, and the process should not take less than 4 minutes, so that um, proper emulsion is formed. You will pass it very quickly, then a proper emulsion might not get formed. Is slide number 5 visible to everyone now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So when the emulsification is complete, means the volume has become almost double. At that point of time, the delivery tube will be removed from the boiling tube and you will transfer the content into a beaker containing water. Ideally, that temperature should be maintained, the temperature of the water should be maintained at 93 to 95 degrees. And as soon as you will immerse the boiling tube, at that point of time, you will start the stop clock. And after every 30 seconds, you will examine the content. When the volume of the separated oil will become 20 ml, at that point of time, you will note down the time, and the time in seconds elapsed during the separation of 20 ml of oil, that will be reported as the steam emulsification. So the procedure is quite simple and direct. Is it clear to everyone? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Coming to the observations and result. Straight away in the observations, you will write the time elapsed during the separation of 20 ml of oil is 120 seconds. And the result is going to be the steam emulsification number of given lubricating oil was found to be 120. See, mention seconds, this I was talking about in the beginning. So this is how you will be reporting the result in your practical file. So I will be sharing a link with you after the class to upload the assignment number 10. That will be your experiment number 10. You will be writing the procedure in your files. The figure has to be drawn. And finally, the observations and results have to be marked. Are there any questions? The video I have uploaded, you can have a look at the video as well. Maybe that can clarify things better.